Communicate with our looks. So if most women are fat and out of shape, like subconsciously she's communicating that she doesn't want the top earning, top quality, best guy. No, she doesn't. If she did, she wouldn't be fat.
You know, we say a lot of things as men, and men tend to respond to it, but women, for the most part, need to get their medicine served to them from a female doctor. So, what I like to do sometimes is take the medicine from a female doctor and feed it to women and just let them know, hey, this is from a female doctor, so you can take it. Let it work on you. Now somebody sent me a video on IG where this woman is being open and honest about the fact that a woman who lets herself go physically doesn't have the drive, determination, and willpower to keep a high quality man. Not a high value man, a high quality man. Which means he got his money right, he got his mind right, he's got his body right, he got his spirit right. Most of the times, those women know that they don't fit into that man's life. But here's what happens. Sometimes a man will buy into that concept and try to build that woman into what she needs to be or into what he wants her to be. Because everybody only needs to be what they're willing to work for. Let's take a deep dive on this one. But first, let's elevate to a higher plane. Prepare for takeoff.
Women communicate with our looks. So if most women are fat and out of shape, like subconsciously she's communicating that she doesn't want the top earning, top quality, best guy. No, she doesn't. If she did, she wouldn't be fat.
Ooh.
So I think that
that's so true.
It's true. Like
Yeah.
they're all like, we want these best, but most of you guys are out of shape.
That's true.
So it's like, no, they're lying. I think it's just their way of being able to stay just doing whatever they want. Again, not having to sacrifice, not having to step up, not having to do any of that. I think that's their way of staying there, is by creating this perfect guy that doesn't exist and then saying, well, until I find it, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. It's just a way they enable themselves.
Now, when we look out into society, man, we do all this talk about, who's overweight, who's not, who's in shape, who's not. The bottom line is, we know, and it has always been this way since the beginning of time, the highest earning, most qualified men, the quality men, want a woman who is physically pleasing, physically appealing. Now, is that where we stop? No. She also has to have certain characteristics mentally, emotionally, spiritually, but physically, we want her to appeal to us in a certain manner. So when you see a woman out here who does not have the willpower to push away those ho-hos and dum-dums, to push away those nachos and push away all of those chips and dips and all of those cookies and cakes and pies, burgers and fries, you understand that that woman has made up in her mind that she'll take whatever man she can get. Because there are women out here who are working hard, man, who are busting their butts out here in the gym, out here eating these bland meals every day, drinking this water, getting this cardio in, doing whatever they need to do in order to make sure that if they come across a quality man, that he doesn't disqualify them strictly because of their physicality. Now, what we see and hear is a woman who is adamant about her stance on exactly what I'm saying. If a woman lets herself go and physically becomes unappealing, and women know when they're physically unappealing, we live in a society where women are so comfortable with being physically unappealing that they demand rights for being physically unappealing. You can't tell a woman you ain't attracted to her. You can't tell a woman she needs to lose a few pounds. You can't tell her that. Why? Because we live in a society where she's just as beautiful. Instead of telling her she needs to lose a few pounds, you know what you have to tell her in this society?
You are so beautiful to me.
That's what you have to tell her in this society. But that's what this society wants you to tell her. Why, when we can just eliminate her from contention for the position in our lives? See, we live in a society where women are not going to ever qualify you and quantify you as a man that they should be with, as a man that they should submit to, as a man that they should acquiesce to your demands. if you ain't got your mind right, your money right, your body right, your spirit right. Now, you cannot have a couple of those. You can have your money right, your mind right. You can have your body right, your money right. Women will take a chance on a man who is financially situated enough to be the thing that a man is supposed to be for a family. If you got a family, you're supposed to be the provider and protector of that family. And a woman will be with a man and compromise on those other things. You know what I'm saying? Technically speaking, you can be batshit crazy, but if you got your money right and you got your body right, the woman will take a chance because she sees provision and protection. Now, you may not protect her from yourself, but you protect her from everybody else. And a woman will take a chance on that. But a man will take a chance on a woman who ain't got nothing that a woman's supposed to have to be in that situation in your life. You'll take a chance. The woman ain't got to be physically appealing. The woman ain't got to be about getting no money. The woman ain't got to acquiesce to your demands. The woman ain't got to be submissive. The woman ain't got to do none of that. You will take a woman who is not physically appealing and still let her talk crazy to you. Still let her be aggressive and adversarial and confrontational with you, man. When you know it's better to dwell in the corner of the rooftop than in a wild house with a brawling woman. You know that. But you'll have that same woman up in your mansion, chilling, keeping up all that ruckus, doing all these disrespectful things. It's kind of like what Russell Wilson is doing with Sierra. Russell Wilson could have had any woman who could acquiesce to his demands and look as good or better than Sierra. But you know what? He settled for that. Why? Because she's at least physically appealing to him. Now just think of how bad it would be if Russell Wilson was taking this from a woman who had let herself go 10 years ago, now look like a woman who let herself go 10 years ago. You see what I'm saying? There is always a chance that you can find what you need in a situation with a woman if she's physically appealing. But at least a woman who's physically appealing knows that she had better be able to please and arouse her man. A woman who lets herself go don't know that. You understand? And any man, I don't care if she got your child, I don't care if she got your children, I don't care if she got them in the millions. It don't really matter. If she let herself go physically, man, that means she don't care about the position no more. Now, if a woman has a health issue or something like that, that's something totally different. But if a woman literally just lazes away and allows herself to just drift into this place where you don't even want to touch her anymore, man, you got to get out of that situation. That woman don't care about being with you. It don't matter what else she brings to the table. You know, guys out here saying,
hey man, well, sometimes, you gotta take a woman by, her character, and instead of her physicality. You gotta, judge a woman with your mind, not your loins.
hey man, let me tell you something. The whole purpose of male, female is to procreate. And to procreate, man, you need to be excited in your loins. But yes, on the back end, you need those other things as well. But first comes physical attraction. And we're never going to be at a time where any species does not base the initial attraction on physicality. Humans are the only ones trying to rewrite nature all the time. We're the only ones trying to act like we aren't who we are. We're the only ones trying to act like, well, physical appeal don't even matter. Yes, it does. It matters more than everything else. You could build a strong relationship based on physical attraction because that physical attraction gives you an opportunity to bond physically, and that physical bond is also a spiritual bond. Whenever you connect physically, you're also connecting spiritually, whether you want to or not. Now, some people are so spiritually down in the dumps that they can do away with that spiritual connection and continue to be the evil person they are. But you and I and most people, that spiritual connection builds every time we're intimate with a woman. And it builds both ways. So when we're talking about these things, man, any man out here who is with a woman who has physically let herself go, man, it reeks of either being broke. Now, you may be broke financially or you may be broke mentally. Sometimes you men have money, but you're broke mentally. Because no man who got his money right, got his mind right, got his body right, got his spirit right, or any combination of those things should be willing to settle for a woman who does not take care of the one thing that a man needs from her physically. There's only one thing that a man needs from a woman physically, and that's for her to be beautiful to him, for her to be physically appealing, for her to take care of her body in a way that makes her appealing. Every man wants to feel like his woman is competing with the most beautiful women in the world. Not saying your woman is the most beautiful woman in the world, but every man wants to know his woman is competing with the most beautiful women in the world, in his mind. And if a man doesn't have that, he's not happy. Any man who's with a woman who's not physically appealing to him is miserable, because he has to deal with all of the nuances that come with having a woman around you, all of the off-brand statements, all of the illogic, all of the just idiotic statements. You got to deal with all of those things. And you can't even knock the frustration of it off by being physically drained by a beautiful woman. If you're a man in a situation and your outlook on your woman is, well, man, you know, she may not be the best looking, but she got all of this right here. Boy, you settle for less. You settle for less, dog.
You settle for less.
You have to know the woman you're dealing with, but you also have to be attracted to the woman you're dealing with. So if she's feminine, in shape, and proud of herself for being in shape, she's a much easier woman to coexist with. She's a much easier woman to lead, a much easier woman to train, a much easier woman to teach, because she understands the importance of sticking to the rules. See, you can't trust a woman who lets herself go physically, because you can't tell if she loves herself. And if she can't love herself, if you can't be convinced that she loves herself, because before we get down to the physical attractiveness of it, we got to think about the health detriment of letting yourself go. So no man who is situated and in the position in life he wants to be in, who has become the most alpha version of himself, should ever settle for a woman who has looked out into the world and said, I don't love myself enough to make sure that I'm physically attractive and healthy and can add benefit in that way to a quality man's life. You men better stop settling out here. And don't try to meet a woman and lead her into caring about herself. You can never lead a woman into caring about herself. You can never lead a woman into focusing on taking care of the things that she should already be taken care of as a woman. Yeah, she'll do it for you, but doing it for you doesn't mean she's gonna stick with it. Doing it for herself means that she did it because she loves the way it makes her feel. She loves the way it makes her view herself. She loves the way it makes you view her. But not later on down the line, in the beginning. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. Comment on the video, man. Subscribe to the channel. Peace.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though. Now I'm not gonna tell you, man, that you shouldn't value your woman at all. A woman does have value, but you can't overvalue her